Okay, let's see.
Well, I want to formally say hello and welcome to Joe Gilchrist. Good to have you back again. It's
Thank
been
you.
quite a while. I'm looking forward to it. And we have a competition tonight that will have 69 pictures. Um, yeah, 39 from the A category and 30 from the B. So we'll have plenty of time to go over them.
Are you coming to the meeting?
And the theme is it should be a simple one. We hope it doesn't get complicated. It's landscape black and white.
Okay.
So we had it wide open
Landscape
for
and
anyone.
nature.
And nature, right.
And oh, okay, landscape and nature in black and white.
I go in.
Uh, go a little easier on the B group. They're kind of new at
Okay.
this stuff. And then go easy on some of us in the A group because we
Yeah,
don't
'cause
do
we're
it
now.
So just go easy.
either. Yeah.
You'll see, my black and whites I prefer to do with film still. How's that if I can get a chance, okay?
Ah,
I still shoot a 4x5 when I can. And
We would
in
have
a
loved
medium
you,
format.
Comica Minolta.
okay. Yeah.
Well, you
All right.
can blink out and try again. I just couldn't do that, but I just couldn't believe it.
Is that Bobby?
Uh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Flo,
having.
I'm gonna mute you.
Should we send her a link again?
I sent it to her.
All right. Well, I think we should get going. So, unless anybody has any other questions,
Okay,
let's roll.
at this point, I'm going to mute all. Joe, please unmute yourself.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. Let me just get this set up here
Oh, that
and get
looks so
down.
familiar.
Okay, let's get into, go up here. We're going to start off with the open A, which has no, I'm sorry, open B. The B is the beginner to a little better than beginner. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to start off with open B, and let's see, there are 9, so we're only going to have a first and second
Okay.
place. Okay.
And these are these are when you say open, is that just
Anything.
anything? That's fine, but it's all
Anything.
black. Okay. Okay.
No, it's color. Color and black and
Okay.
white.
Oh, okay. That's all I want to
Okay.
make sure. Okay. Okay.
No, it's better to check. You're right. Open B, bro and sis.
Like the story that it's telling here. They've got them there. I'm seeing here is looking at this on the sides here, just up at the upper edges and all like this. There's that little spots at the top. I'm seeing especially on the left-hand side, that little white thing is just drawing my eye right there. And so is the one on the right-hand side. So just looking at that, just keep an eye on that a little bit there. And it looks a little bit soft from what I'm seeing too. So just with the focus, make sure you get one of the eyes on this one. So for that, so just keep an eye on that type of thing. This one I'm going to say this is the in and out, right? That's where we are right now.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Okay.
Hold
I'm
on a
going to
sec.
have this one. I'll have this one out then. Okay.
Okay. Portrait of black and white cat in black and white.
Looking at this, the eyes, it looks a little, this one also looks a little bit on the soft side too. And the other thing that I'm seeing here is I'm not, because looking at it, I'm not seeing necessarily any a differentiation on the top here between the ears, between the background and that. So watch another one, watch that, because you may have a little bit more contrast in there that you can actually bring out in there. So look at that. And it looks like there's some, I'm not sure, there might be some white spots or something on this too. I'm not sure going on there. So they're a little distracting also. Those can be taken out in post processing and all. So just be aware, look at that. I'm going to say this one's out.
Okay. By the way, I'm going to ask somebody to call Bobby. She's trying to call me, and I'm doing this. I can't talk while I'm doing this.
Okay, this one here, I like the leading lines, the with the horses and all like that. Just seeing this here, looks like we've got things in focus and all like this. Maybe the only thing here, just maybe a little bit on the left hand side where the light, where the behind the buckets, you can probably just bring those highlights down a little bit. But this one is, it's in focus, things like this. So this one's in.
Windmill.
Nice. Yeah, okay. I've not been there yet. I'm looking forward to getting there someday. Um, looks nice. The thing here is I like the sky's nice. The windmill's there. You've got the nice reflection. The only thing I'd be wary of is make sure if you can the upper arm of the windmill, make sure that you probably want to get that in at this point. So that would be one of those to make sure that you've actually captured that a little bit there. And also, you could probably also have had on the left hand side here, you probably could have just done a little bit more on the cropping here, so that maybe get a little bit closer to the edge of the buildings. There's not a lot going on that side, but I like, it looks nice and it's there. This one's in.
Great white female ready to hatch.
This one, this here, I see there's a lot of highlights. There's a lot of things in looking at this one. Up on the top of the head, there looks like there's a lot. It looks like the whites are blown out on here. There's no like detail or anything like that on the head and on the back. And it looks like it's a little bit on the soft side too. It looks like some of the focusing is actually more on the branches on the right hand side here. One of those things that you can look at is if you're looking on your camera when you're doing your when you're metering, is to take a look and see where your the little diopter is, or the gauges on there, just some there. And sometimes when I'm shooting things like this, I would actually shoot a little bit to the left of the 0 point, just so that you don't blow out the highlights. And if you can get it there, things like that. So this one I'm going to say is out.
Little drummer boy.
Yep, good story. I've liked shooting things like this too. Nice shot there. And looking at this, it looks like you've done some other stuff with taking it down to the black and taking it with taking a little bit of the color out of it. That's fine. That's good. That's fine there. And looking at this, probably looking at this, I think there's the little bit of the distraction with the hand being up on the person next to him. But I like the shot. I like what it's doing, and it's an interesting storytelling type thing. And the other one looking backwards, it's sort of like, okay, there's like, okay, what's going on here? But you've got these two, him looking there and things like this. I'm going to leave this one's in because it's got the sharpness and it's got a story to it.
Overlooking the Navsink River.
Okay, nice night scene, which we're looking at here. Looking at the front here, we've got stuff that's in focus, and that's good. A little bit on the lower right hand corner here, there's a little bit of, it's a little dark. Just looking at that, you might be able to bring that up a little bit in Lightroom or something like that, with looking at that, or with a gradient or something like that on the side here. The other thing is the other thing to look at is the sky. I think you can probably get a little bit more in the sky. And the other thing you might want to do with this is there's a lot of sky up there. You might want to consider maybe just cropping it a little bit, like just about like I'm going to look at about halfway up between the umbrella and there, and doing that. But it's in focus. It's got telling a little bit of story. So let's leave this one in.
The harbor at sundown.
Okay, this one looks like there's some sort of a texture on it or something like that. Gives it an interesting look, a little bit more of an artistic feel and all like that. Um, there looks like there's one, I don't know if the texture here. There's one on the left-hand side, just to the left of the flag that looks like there's like a spot on it or something like that. But I think it's just probably the texture that you put onto it. It's actually done an interesting work on it, and the thing is that you've got it in more a panoramic view. That's it gives it a little bit of difference doing that. So and giving and it's not, and the lighthouse is not dead center. So I'm gonna this one will be in.
A girl and her pup acting silly.
Looks like fun. Um, Again, this one here, it looks like I'm looking at this and it's the exposure looks good. Things like that look really good on this one. Possibly a little bit in maybe the sweater or the shirt is just a little bit dark, but that looks pretty good in this case. It looks again, this one looks I know there's motion blur in part of it. It looks like we've got her moving a little bit too, and the eye is not quite sharp and as sharp there. So just be aware, maybe as I said earlier, is focusing on the eye and see if you can get that there, and maybe up the shutter speed or something like that in order to stop the things like this, to stop the motion. So this one will be out.
Okay, round two, we have 5, so this will be a 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
Okay. Stables at Monmouth Park.
I'm going to give this one an 8.
Windmill.
I'm gonna give this one a 9.
Little Drummer Boy.
I'm going to give this one a 7.
Overlooking the Navesink River.
7 on this one too.
The harbor at sundown.
I'm going to give an 8 on this one.
Okay, well, the first one is
It's
definitely
got
going
a,
to
yeah, yeah.
first place. Now here, we're going to select one of these as second place.
I'm going to go with the harbor.
This one.
This one, yes.
Okay, open B. Second place, the harbor at sundown. Walter, I'm glad you called and got the link. Beautiful picture. First place, Windmill, Alan. Very nice. I'm not sure if Alan's here tonight. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go into open A, and here we have 19.
Okay.
Boardwalk at night.
Nice shot. I like the what I'm seeing. The lighting's good. Um, you have the spectacle highlights on the stuff that's in here. Looks good. Clock looks good. Really, really, nice there. This one's in.
Iris Dream.
Nice, the colors look good. You got a nice blurred background, makes it, looking at it there. Um, I'm having a little time for me. It's just me. I'm having looking at where I want, like the irises I'm familiar with have a little bit of a little bit, their stamens and all like this. I can usually see that. So I'm just, seeing that. It's just more the fun things here. So, I'm just having a little trouble finding out what I'm looking at, what part I should be focusing on. Because the little thing is on focus here, but it's got another thing up here, and I'm just not finding something that that I'm really focusing on as a subject. So this one will be out.
Cool place to sit.
Yep. Again, this is one here. No, nothing's actually blown out. Well, there's a little bit. This looks pretty good. The exposure looks good. Things like that. In the back here, there's probably a little spot down here on the lower right, but it's not really. That's where my eye's going, but it's there. The other place that it's going is this little. There are these little like up at the probably the upper third, about maybe about a third of the way in, maybe a little less than a third, getting a little bit there, but it's not terrible. Things like this. I think there's I'm not seeing as much on the much detail on the bark. I could probably in there that would like to see a little bit more there. But it's a nice it's the exposure looks like it's handled very well for that. But again, I'd like, maybe if there was a little bit more on the bark. This one will be out.
Nature walk.
Hmm. Interesting idea about this. Actually, I like this because you photograph something that's a little different. Um, that's you saw something that you have the plant here and the window, and it's probably on the other side of the window and things like that. And it's you got the school kids there. I think I like what you've done with this one. The only thing that you may want to be able to do with this would be probably just crop a little bit off the top, because I think more of the story is down here in here from the, you probably just a little bit, just leave a little bit of the sky up there, because I think it's the teacher and the other ones that are actually there with the plant. I think that would make it, makes it an interesting image. This one's in.
Waxy yellow flower.
I like the lighting on this, and looks like you've done a very nice job with this. A little bit the highlights. You got the sun coming in. I've got nice detail in the center, in the seating area, things like that. Looks there. The background is nice. There's nothing out in the background that's coming out. This is very nice. You've done a good job with this. Not quite off into the center, but it would be okay in the center. But that makes it a little bit, gives it a little bit more interest. So this one's in.
Flying fisherman.
Nice shot of getting the bird, where this here, everything looks like it's in focus. The eye looks like it's in focus. Really nice to get him in flight and all like that. That's really nice. I like the idea of the reflection, that it sort of gives you gives you like that little, like, it's like it makes a C in there. And actually, I think that makes it a little bit makes it very interesting. So this one's in.
Peony moment.
Nice. Okay, this one here, another one where we've got the things nicely, it's nicely focused and all like this. The lighting, I think the background here at this point is very nice. Uh, the only thing I have is I'm a little bit, I down at the bottom, the bottom. I see the the lighting at the bottom here, the background is getting a little close to the flower. So there's some places down here, and there's like a little couple spots down here too to watch out for. But other than that, I really like the, just because I'm just like it's blending, it's almost blending in here at the bottom a little bit more than maybe you could darken that a little bit and just give that contrast a little bit. But just watch out for the spots. But this one I like. Let's leave this one in.
Tango dancers.
Nice and it's nice and sharp. Um, there's a little bit, there's like what I see here, just maybe a little bit of the the cuff is just a little bit over, things like a little bright, but otherwise it's tells a nice story because you've got the guitar player, you've got it all going on. So I think it's one of the it's really a nice shot. You've got their eyes. You've got her looking at you. Essentially, you've got her eyes pretty much engaging with the camera, which is one of those things that I think is important when taking some photographs. If you have the person's eyes, you can see them there, and it's like they're almost as if they're looking at you. Helps it up there. Okay, this one's in.
Sky high.
Okay. We've got the one thing we have is this is one of those ones where there's lots of triangles, and sometimes when you're doing photography, they want you to have triangles, and they like triangles to things set things up. One of the things that I'm seeing here is that it's just I'm seeing some stuff, seeing some highlights right along the buildings, up at the top. I don't know if it's just because some I've get those all the time too. But that there are highlights there where I'm seeing like a little bit of like a ghosting and all like that on that, things like that, and that can actually be. And sometimes if I've had that happen, you can actually go ahead and post and actually use a. You can use what is it cloning tool and do like if you're in Photoshop, you can use the darken mode to actually come on that and just to get that to looking like that. Um, I'm going to say this one's out.
Peaceful pond.
I like this. I like the way that it's set up. I like the lighting. Especially the boat on the right is here. Um, I like the overall image that's here. The thing is that there is the other boat over here and the stuff on the left hand side. It's like, okay, could the other question would be, and this is just looking at it, I like the way it's shot. I like the textures. I like what's going on in the boat here. I just looking at it saying, could there be, if you had cropped it a little bit more to the left, take out this all the vegetation on the left hand side, might actually make it even a stronger image of this boat and things like that. But I like what I see. I'm going to leave this one in.
On a hall table.
You guys take some interesting shots. I'll say that. Okay. I like this. This is something you don't see. You saw something there, and you actually it gives us a reflection on what's behind this and all like that. Yeah, I'm going to leave this one in.
Rose Rosie.
Nice shot. The background's nice and you've got a nice background. You've got that blurred out or that softness to it. Looking at this, it's probably done a lot of work on this to get there. Doing that, it's nice. It's nice. It's sharp on on the roads and all like this. Um, even the inside of the roads, I can see that that's nice and sharp. So yeah, let's keep this one in.
skies, clouds, and trees.
Yeah, not actually nice shots. What I see is you've got nice clouds. You did a good job with keeping the sky and all like that there. The and with the exposure and things like this. There's nothing blowing out. Looks pretty good. Um, and just seeing that it's sort of I don't know I know there's you're getting the trees and all like this. There's nothing. It's sort of like is what am I what do I what's the subject? I'm not seeing anything that I can that's I'm looking around here going, well, where should my eye be catching? Is there story or something in here? So that's for me, and that's what I'm seeing right now. So this one will be out.
Black and white and burgundy.
I actually like this because the way the symmetry is on this one looks things are in quite in focus and all like that. I love the texture on the what is it on the wood. It's really like okay, it's you get to see that looks really I like seeing that there. So I've got some detail there. So that's looking at that. Exposure looks good on that. And essentially, when you're looking at the reflections, that's what you're getting there. So but it's like the white in there that it looks pretty good. This one's in.
View from Monet's window.
Okay, this one here, the gardens and all like that. I'm seeing that the sky, yeah, for me, the way I'm seeing right here, the sky looks a little bit dull. You might be able to like it just seems to be a little bit as if it needs something more punch and all like that. And is there, the other question would be is okay, it might be the view from the garden. Is there something in the garden that caught your eye about it, or is it things like that? And with the, possibly with the stuff on the left hand side, you could also crop it out so that that part of the windows there and maybe things like that just on the left. So there, but yeah, this I think the sky just is just a little bit muddy for me at this point. Some of the trees in there too, so a little more contrast would probably help this in doing that. This one's out.
Jasmine drops of life.
Good shot. I mean, just a very simple composition. I like the idea. You're catching the drops in here. Very, very nice. The colors look good. The lighting's good on it. So yeah, this one's in.
More laundry.
Again, telling a story probably on, when you're traveling or something like that, catching things like this, really nice. I don't know. She's looking at you going, oh, another photographer. It tells a nice story though, where you are and things like this, and nothing's blowing out, nothing's here. Exposure looks good. I'm going to leave this one in.
Hello, Mr. Green.
Again, another, something like this, catching a story. These are the type things that you usually catch when you're on St. Patrick's Day, something along like that around a parade or something like that. But this is very nice. You've got, I mean, I love the idea. You've got it with you've got him with you're seeing that his tattoos and things like this, and the actual outfit and all like that. It adds to the whole thing. So yeah, this one's in.
Dahlia twin drops.
Nice and sharp. Looking at this, they've got the two of them there. That's the mirror, like they're not necessarily a mirror image, but it looks sharp enough and things like this. So yeah, the background's nice and blurred. It's not distracting or anything like that. So this one will be in.
Okay, round two.
I made I made it difficult for myself. I know.
Okay, round two. We have 14. Boardwalk at night.
I'm going to go with the 7 on this one.
Okay. Nature walk.
I'm going to go with the 7 on this one too.
Okay. Waxy yellow flower.
I'm this one. I'm going to do an 8 on this one. Okay.
Sure. Flying fisherman.
This one here, I'm going to give it a 9 because I like what you like capturing this whole the flight and all like that. It's I can't do it that well yet, so
Peony moment.
I'm going to go with the 7 on this one.
Okay. Tango dancers.
I'm going to go with an 8 on this one. I like the story that it's telling.
Okay. Peaceful pond.
I actually am going to go with an 8 on this one because I like what because even though I put the stuff there, I just like the boat's really a great job on the boat.
On a hall table.
I'm going to go with the 7 on this one.
Rose Rosie.
It's a nice image. I'm going to go with the 7 on this one.
Black and white and burgundy.
Trying to remember the other images. I sort of like this one because of the graphic nature of it, so I'm going to give this one a 9.
Jasmine drops of life.
I think this was another well done one, so I'm going to give this one a 9 also.
Okay. Wall laundry.
I'm going to go with the 7 on this.
Hello, Mr. Green.
I'm going to go with an 8 on this one.
Dahlia twin drops.
I'm going to give this one 8 also.
Okay, well, we have 3 here. So we have a first, second, and third.
Oh, yeah, they're all great. I love them all. I'm going to go with the bird as first.
This one.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You're going to hate me. Somebody's going to hate me for something, I know. Um, hmm. I'm going to go with the flower for 2, and then the other one would be third.
Open third place. Black and white and burgundy. Dan, once again, beautiful shot. Second place. Jasmine drops of life. David, very nice. Excellent. And first place. Flying fisherman, Mario Edini. Mario, when I saw the bird, I knew it was going to be you. Terrific. Okay. Let's go with landscape B. We have 21 in here. This is going to be the black and white landscape or
Okay.
nature.
Okay.
Okay.
And okay, I'm going to ask a question. Is it black and white or sepia okay? Or I mean
sepia is okay. Like
okay,
I said, we're very what's the word? We're
some
very
people,
go ahead.
You're flexible. I just want to make sure that I
Yeah.
just want to make sure that because sometimes it's like it's some people are it's black and white and it has to be black and white. That's all. You know,
Yeah.
we're like monochrome could mean many things too. So that's why I'm just asking. Okay.
Mark,
Yes.
can I read the one definition we had on our website? It might be helpful.
Go ahead.
What we wrote down for the club members was black and white photos or photos showing only various shades of gray.
Okay,
Photos should be of natural outdoor settings, which could be landscapes or close-up macro images of subjects in their natural settings. People or animals should not be main parts of the image. They could be in there, but not main parts, not the
Okay.
main subject.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. So it's okay.
Just so you
People,
know what we told
it's
the
not,
members.
it's not a nature type thing. It's where you can't have any hand to man. That type of, it's okay. Hand to man is okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
we're very loose here. We try to, get as much in as we can. Okay, here we go. Pretty while it lasts.
I like the leading lines here. It takes you down. You've got the you got it taking you down, and then you're going off into there. You've got the line there. You got the center line and all like this. Looking nice there. You've got, let me see. You got detail in the trees on the left. On one of the some stuff here. There doesn't seem to be anything too distracting on the edges at this point. So yeah, um, I'll leave this one in.
Sounds good. Autumn leaves must fall.
Looking at this, yeah, I mean, you've got it nice. Again, it's the in black and white. You've got the leaves here. What's going on here? Um, the trees, it's I'm trying to look at this here and say, okay, nothing really blown out on this. You do have the whites. Probably there's some blacks in here. I'm trying to see. I don't see some of the detail on what is it on the trees here. There could be a little bit more of that. So other, I'm actually going to. The other thing is that this little brightness right here, you probably can take that down a little bit, right on the shoreline here. You might be able to bring that down a little bit because there might be a little bit more detail in there too. With like if you wanted to use something like a mask on that with maybe dehaze or something like that in it. This one will be. I'm going to put this one out.
Overlooking Split, Croatia.
Now, you climbed the hill, huh? I was there last year. Um, okay. Looking at this, I think you could probably get coax a little bit more out of the sky here, things in there. Probably, especially like now with the new masking in like Lightroom or something like that, you could actually do that. You might be able to get. There's probably a little bit more in there. It's a little bit. You get. I'm seeing some of the things like are just get. I'm not seeing a lot as much detail in there that I think is there. Plus the mountains, you probably can get coax a little bit more out of them too. Looking at that. What else? I mean, exposure, it's a little, as I said, the mountains, looking at that, looking at those, you probably can get a little bit more out of those, but things like this. I'm going to say this one's out.
Black and white landscape, Peddler's Village.
This one here, I'm looking at there's something on the left-hand side that's really distracting. This right here on the left, there's something that looks like it's out of focus or something like that. Just my eyes going right there, and it's not going anywhere else in the image. The other thing I would probably do, it looks like there's some there's some in the front here, the grays. It looks a little bit muddy also. So you may want to look at the contrast on this with that. And also the other thing would be is this if the what is it the light stand if I would probably try and keep that in because if you wanted that to be of interest, I sort of only have I don't have all of it, so it's sort of like I'm missing the top, and I'd like to see the top from there, and looking at things like that. Um, then yeah, so it just needs a little bit more contrast. Again, the sky here, I think you can get a little bit more out of it. You could probably darken it a little bit and or bring in some more texture in there and come up with a little bit, a little bit more interesting sky too. This one will be out.
Matterhorn.
Okay. Looking at this, um, the it's the problem is the sky here is just, I love the mountain, but the sky here is just, it's sort of a, there's not a lot going on in there. So looking at that, probably one of the things you could probably look at is see if you could darken it a little bit. And the other thing that's happening is up on the right hand corners here, um, you've got some vignetting that's coming in, that's probably causing some things there. The other thing that this might help, might do this, is maybe cropping it a little bit, and getting a little bit more in here, because there's a lot of what I see negative space here, and that's it's just like, it's with stuff here, there's nothing to look at over here or on the either side of the Matterhorn. Nice shot of it, but I think you could probably use a little bit more contrast on the mountain itself, with the whites a little bit there too. So whites and grays coming a little bit there. This one will be out.
Danube at night, black and white.
I like, okay, the sky, you've got a nice sky in here. You've done a nice job on the bridges here. If I've got this right, I think this is, if I've got the right town, I think it's Budapest, the chain bridge. I think it looks like the one at that. So I photographed this at one point too. So, but it was with film, so it goes back a while. So very nice. This one will be in.
Do not disturb.
Nice story on this one. The thing yeah, he looks okay. Looks pretty sharp. Um, the thing is, the problem. One thing that's happening is my eyes are getting drawn to the background here, all around him, the white, because that's where I'm going at this point. So, if you tone that down, I think you might get us to go into the bear a little bit more. But I mean, he's nice and sharp. You've done that. Or the other thing is, you could always do is, if you needed to, is just sort of, maybe crop it, with maybe the bear a little bit, just around where his, like, just get him sleeping, the fur and all like that would be another way. Maybe that would help. That would get rid of some of that. But this one's going to be out.
Just where you want to go.
Okay, looking at this one. This one here, what I see right now when I'm looking at it, I see it's a very, this one looks like it needs some contrast added to it. Like the sky is very muddy. The actual, even the huts and all like this are a little muddy. So, I think if you had to either do something with the white point, the black point, there's some ways to actually increase that. That's what I'm seeing right here. Then you probably can get a little bit more out of this sky also here, but it's a little bit of it's a muddy looking picture, and because it's not having any really, like, really really solid blacks or anything that's a white here. They're all sort of like they're all grays and all like that. So that's what I'm talking about when I say contrast. A little more in the black, and a little bit more there. So this one will be out.
Harvest time at Day Farm.
Now I'm going to say, then I'm just going to put something here, like looking at, compared to the last one, to last image, to this one. This one here is what I'm talking about. Is when I'm saying contrast, this one here, I've got the blacks, I got the whites, and things like this. I just do it in contrast, so this one here is some very nice contrast. What I'm seeing here is, okay, we've got all the vegetation here, things like this. Although I'm not sure what it is a picture of the landscape and things like that. Is is there something in this landscape that that made you take this photo? Because if there's something in here that was there, I just would like, is there a subject that I should be looking at? I'm not seeing any one thing that I'm saying, okay, like, is this tree or not? And so that's where I'm having a little trouble actually identifying that. But I mean, the sky's great. Your exposure is great. I'm saying liking that. It's just that I'm just seeing a little. There's a lot going on here, and it's like I'm not sure where you want me to look. So this one will be out.
Blue Mountains of New South Wales, Australia.
Okay. Nice shot. Okay, good shot here. One of the things you have to watch out for, and I'm going to say this, there are some dust spots on here. Up here on the upper, there are two dust spots on the right, and there's one in the middle. You can take those out quite easily by just a clone. There's another one actually here just above the horizon on there. Just watch those, because especially when you get into like in competition, those are things that make a difference when you're looking at the images. This one here is a nice image. I think it could probably use just a little bit more contrast, but I'm going to leave this one in.
Dock at dusk.
Got what I'm seeing here. Okay, it's definitely a dusk shot. That's what we're looking at here. What I'm looking at there is, again, it's a matter of I'm trying. There's a lot of things that are very, very, very black or very dark here. I don't have what is it? A lot of detail here in this area. It's not like it's a silhouette, which would be a little different than and I don't know back here the actual on the horizon. It looks a little. It looks like me. It just might be a little. There might be a little tilt on that horizon there in the background, so you could always straighten that. And I think the sky could use a little bit more, a little bit more contrast on that, make it a little dark, things there, and like a D, as I or mentioning some of the earlier ones, a little dehaze on that could probably help bring that in. Maybe like a what is it um, a what is it? A filter here on what is it? I'm trying to think of it. Horizontal filter here to just do that. I mean, the water looks okay. It's just that there's the sky's a little bit there. So this one's going to be out.
A junction in the wetlands.
The idea with with what is it, with the leading line taking you back in here. You got stuff here. Um, Again, I think you could get a little bit more out of the sky with taking that down and just doing like what is it, a filter on that, so you can do that. I think that would help this out. That would do a good job on this. Otherwise, I mean, you've done okay. I understand this. You're the beginner groups and or things like this. So you've actually have a beginnings of a real good photograph with things being in the actual the textures and all like this, and looking at this. So yeah, so I'm going to leave this one in.
Boulder Coast.
Hmm. The boulders look good. Okay, what I'm looking at here, it looks like I'm looking at the sky at the moment, and the water, it looks fairly noisy out there at this point. And also there looks like there's a bulge in the horizon here that I'm seeing. I'm not sure where this was taken or anything like that, but that's it there. You could probably use a little bit more contrast in the rocks, so they get a little bit more separation in here. So you can look at that. This is one of those things that you could have like a filter on this to do that. Because in Lightroom and things like this, they have new filters that'll get you things like that, and you'll be able to actually isolate and do that and actually work on those. So things like that. But there's a lot of noise up in that sky, and there's also the noise reduction that's now in Lightroom that you can use, which is there. So it's been a nice addition. So this one will be out.
Raging Rapids.
Okay. Slightly okay. Not a slow shutter speed, but one that's you've got it sort of you've done it got it sort of capturing some of the stuff coming out with the spilling of the water in here. You've got some whites, you've got some blacks, things here. Again, this looks there's nothing blowing out here, so this one's in.
Photo guy doing his thing.
Okay, this one here, it's you've got the guy doing the thing. What happens here again, as I mentioned, looking earlier on one of the other photos, there's some watch up at the corners here. There's actually some vignetting that's going on. I don't know whether it's from your lens. I don't know if it's a lens. Sometimes if you have a wide angle lens and you have a filter on it, sometimes there's a point where there's some vignetting which is coming from that because the thing is there. So just watch that because that's there. The other thing you probably could do with this one is if you wanted to is bring it down, just crop it here so that's it's more like you see more of what is here. He's doing his stuff. You don't necessarily need the stuff because the story would be him doing his photography. But you've got the stuff. You've got it you've got some good. It's in focus and all like that. So yeah. I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna have this one out.
Uplift with boy.
This one here, it looks there's something on the left hand side that's actually there's a haziness in there, and things that doesn't look quite in focus here. Plus, again, this one here has some of that. See at the lower right hand corner here, there's the vignetting that's over there. That's one thing that's there. There might be just a little bit around the right hand corner. There's the vignetting. There's a little bit of a hint of it there. Plus, he doesn't look in focus. Some of the rocks don't look in focus either. And then the waterfall that's in the back, it's just there's no detail in it. So probably you want to watch that a little bit and so, when you're doing that. So you could always probably see if you can get something out of that. But yeah. I like the sky would be, the sky's nice sky. I like the darkness of it and things like that. So there's some exposure issues on here. There's something with this on the left hand side that looks like it's fuzzy there, and as I said, it's not quite as in focus be there. So watch where you're focusing at this point too. So all right, this will be out.
New Zealand winery.
Nice, simple composition, or it's something. It gives you the story with the winery. I like what you've done. You've minimized the sky. You don't have a lot of distractions in there. Probably you noticed that it didn't have a lot of things going on there. I'm just going to say I do see a little bit. I don't know if that's just the vignetting on the upper left, but this is nowhere near what I've been seeing in the other ones, other photographs. But I like this one. This one's definitely it.
Winding.
Yeah, nice. The exposure on this one I like. You've got the yellow line or the white line, whichever one it is there, going off. It does get a. I don't know. Together, it looks like there might have been this cloud. I don't know something on the road there going there a little bit there, but it's you've got some clouds up there. Doesn't look too. You've got some interest in the clouds, things like this. The things look fairly sharp. So yeah, this one's going to be in.
Canadian backcountry.
Uh, First thing I'm looking at this, what my eyes going to is this stuff up in the upper left hand corner. All this stuff, these flowers. It's just like they're bright white. That's where I'm going. And so I'm trying to see what the rest of the image is, but I'm going back here to the left and I'm going up to those white flowers. So I'm not getting even looking in here. Now, if this is water, you probably could have you may want to do a little bit more to try and brighten that up, the water that's in there, because it looks, again, it's one of those things that's a little muddy, and I'm trying, if that's what it is, I'm not able to discern it that much from what I see. So just be aware. You could also, instead of coming out as much, you probably could have focused in maybe a little bit more on the what is it, on the tree here and things like that, and then on the waterfall that's up here, and then left this out. So this way it would give you a very different look, but it would be, would give you that, it wouldn't be that distraction. But that's where I went. So this one's out.
Brambles.
I like the image. I have a couple of, I don't know if it's post-processing or something like that. I'm seeing right here on the left-hand side on the hills, there's some sort of an artifact that I'm seeing that's like, I'm not sure if it's from cloning or something else like that. Not quite, not not sure what's going on with that. So that's a distraction for me. Um, some of the stuff in the front, if that things here, they're not everything. It's not it's not really sharp. So watch what you're doing. You may want to make sure you're focusing and looking at it like an F11 or something like that with there. And then the other thing I'm seeing is that up here on the right hand side, there's that bright spot here, and then there's another gray spot. But I'm seeing it looks like, some other artifacts over here. So just watch what's going on when you're in post processing, too. So this one will be out.
Outback of New Zealand.
Okay, like this. This is good. I mean, this is, you've got the contrast. You got the things going on. I've got some, I've got a white here. I've got some blacks here. It's more like that. It's like in the Canadian Rockies, you get nothing but gray, and that's just it. So yeah, this will be it.
All right, round two, we have 8.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Pretty While It Lasts.
No, this one an 8.
Danube at Night, black and white.
I'm going to give this one a 9.
Blue Mountains of New South Wales, Australia.
I'm going to give this one an 8.
A Junction in the Wetlands.
One will be a 7.
Raging Rapids.
I'll go with a 7 on this one.
New Zealand Winery.
I'm going to give this one a 9.
Winding.
This one I'll give an 8.
Outback of New Zealand.
I'm going to go with an 8 on this one also.
Okay, well, we have 2. This will be the first and second.
Okay. Winery, and then second would be the Danube.
Okay. Third place.
The first one on the left.
Okay.
The one with the road, yeah.
This one, right?
Yep, yep. Yeah, the one with the trees and the
Yeah, right. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Black and white landscape B. Third place. Pretty while it lasts, Jerry. I really like this shot. Excellent. Second place. Danube at night, black and white, Benita. Beautiful. Wow. First place, New Zealand Winery. That's me. Okay. Now we're going to do black white nature A.
Oh, you guys should make. I mean, the one thing I'm going to say is that what I'm looking at these. I have a few seconds to make up my mind on these things. You live with these images, and if you have them, it's just my opinion in this at this time. Could score these somewhat different at some other time. So I just want to make sure that that part of what happens is that's what I mean. That happens even when I see things go in when
Joe,
we do
we're
other
all
competitions.
human.
Yep, yep. I'm just saying. It's like it's the ones. It's what I like, and that's part of what I'm looking at too.
Mhm. Okay, we have 20 here in A.
Okay.
Sunset over a tidal bay.
Nice shot. I like everything's going on. The sky on this one, it's there's a nice there's something to look at. The interest is there. You have what is it the nest branches on the right hand side there. That looking at that, yeah, I think this is I like the sky. Things look pretty good. The exposure is really nice on this one. This one will be in.
Right. Okay. Winding road.
Having the car there helps a lot. I think it just gives you an idea, gives you the scale of everything in here. Plus with the leading line it gives you there, the cars coming towards you, things like that. Things look really nice and in things. The skies again, you do have a sky here, but it's just one that I think you actually got just what you needed in the sky. I think it's more about what's going on in the back, what's going on in the center of this, and then into here with where you are. So you've captured a moment in time. So yeah, this one's in.
Catania, Sicily.
Nice shot. I mean, it's you've got the skies here, things like this. The panoramic thing areas looks good. Um, it's there's looking at this, you can see that you've got the beach and all like this where you've taken it from, or you've got the beach that's there. Um, I just think there could probably be a little bit more contrast or a little bit more in the thing in the a little bit more interest probably in the mountain here. But I understand why you took it because I see myself taking things like this all the time. This one will be out.
Waterfall in black and white.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I love looking in the background. I see that there's it's really interesting because if you look at it, it's not so much the water. One of the things that I noticed is the mountain on the left-hand side. You actually have the cloud encircling it there. It's one of those things that you've captured. That's something that's neat there. I like, it looks like there, I'm seeing a little bit of like not all that motion in the sky, but I do see some, it looks like some blurring in there, so that's there. And the waterfall is not, it's relatively, it's not, yeah, it's not smooth, so it isn't that fast of a shutter speed. So yeah, nice shot. I actually like the idea with the cloud up here too, by the way. So that caught my eye. So and things like that. So yeah, this one's in.
Water wheel.
This, looking at this one looks a little bit like a little flat. It needs a little bit more contrast on it, like like I'm not seeing anything that's really a true black, like here. And like the buildings are sort of like they're sort of whether they're actually gray or not, or things like this. Even the building behind the water wheel looks a little bit gray. So this one needs to have other contrasted up on it. Either that or do something with the what is it the whites and all like this. Do that. The other thing is on the left hand side, this little branch here or whatever it is, a railing or here, that's sort of distracting on that. You could probably clone that out if you had a chance to, which would just sort of keep that things there. This one will be out.
Mountain Lookout.
Is this Priest in Croatia? Not Croatia. No, Montenegro. Nice shot. I like it. It's actually you've got some nice contrast going on. You have the blacks and you have the whites and things like that. You're looking at this here. It's you've captured a very nice. You've captured it very very nicely. You've got nothing's really all that blown out. I do have my darks here in the what is it, in the trees that you're looking at there, and the mountains in the distance. I've got the contrast going from the darks in the beginning and getting lighter as I go back. I think this is a good image. This one's in.
In thirds.
Definitely is. You've got the rocks, one of those things here, seeing that. I mean, it's not, I mean, I'm going to say this, it's a very, the composition being in thirds, it's really, you nailed it. How's that? Looking at this, it's just a matter that it's like, okay, I see what you've done with it. You've got good exposure on this. You got things here. Sky again is sort of like okay, it's a nondescript sky. The rocks, I probably, there could be a little bit more interest there, but I like the concept, but I'm going to say this one's out.
Creek After the Snow.
Okay. I have a question. This is supposed to be black and white, right?
Yeah.
This looks like these are brown. That's why I'm asking. If it were sepia, it would be one thing. That's I'd have to look at
You
that.
do have an option of DQing it if you want.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I'm just seeing it as it's looking like that. So we might have. I'm gonna based upon this. I'm looking at it. It looks like it is a color image rather than a black and white image. So I could actually just leave it out. That would be one way of dealing with it. Or either way, it doesn't. Because of that. Either way, it doesn't really matter.
Well, DQ means that they can use it again, and
Okay,
whatever.
Okay. The only thing I would look at here is that's looking at that. I mean, I really like the photograph. Okay, don't get me wrong. I think you've captured a great. I love what I see. Nothing. The snow is really nice. I like it. It's really, I don't have anything. Even the sky is very nice. You get a difference in the sky here. And then the only thing I'd say is that there's some things here at the beginning, at the lower end, at the edges. Just watch those things that are coming in, like the branches. There's one little branch in the water over here. Then there's one right on the edge on the left hand side. Those would be things I take out of it. Other than that, it's a great image, but I'm going to DQ it so they can use it again. Okay.
Victoria Peak.
Again, another nice image here. I like the contrast on it. Part of what I'm again, I'm noticing a couple of dust spots on this. Okay. There's some there are a couple up here in the upper left-hand corner. There's another one down a little bit, and then just above the black and white building that is the peak on it is up there a little bit there, and then there's some other ones on the other side. So be aware of those. Those are sort of like things that you're looking at. Plus, the buildings look like they're leaning to the left a little bit. You could always just sort of like, sort of like move those a little bit. But I like the contrast. I like everything about the image. As I said, that it looks, it's well, the exposures look really good on it. It's just that it's sort of like, okay, I think some of the buildings, they look like they're leaning to the left, so you may want to just try and bring them up. Maybe with doing that there. Bring them up in Lightroom with there's a way to do it, or even in Photoshop or some of the other programs where you can actually change the perspective on it a little bit there. So this one will be out.
Hiding in plain sight.
Nice idea. I like this. This is sort of something that you're looking at. I think wonder, just looking at this, there's a lot of other space on the right and on the left. You could probably have cropped this a little bit more, to bring it in, maybe instead of it being more a portrait type thing like this. But I like the idea. Exposure's good. The ocean looks good out here. I just looking at that might, there might be a way to just, sort of tell the same story and a little bit closer, with a little bit closer crop, because then we could see the building a little bit more and things like that. This one will be out.
Palm tree frond detail.
I like this. I think you did a great job on this. I like the detail on it, the black and white. You can see there the specular highlights that you have on the fronds here on this one here. It's not blowing out, but it's just enough, like because of the lighting is there. It really is looking good. Yeah, this one will be in.
Glacier landscape in black and white.
Like this. This has got. I mean, I've got the again. You've got a sky in here. That's a you've got a reasonably interesting. You've got some interest in the sky. You've got the white up here in the mountains in the snow. It looks you've got it in the distance there. I've got some nice darks in here. You've got this pond with a little bit more interest in this rock here. These rocks here. Nice. I like the shot. I like the exposure on it. So this one's in.
Trees.
Yep. I mean, it's definitely the black and white theme. The thing again is sort of like, okay, it's the trees. I'm not, there are sort of three trees here. I'm not sure which is there one that you wanted me to look at. Was there something that you saw in that tree that's why you took it? I'm just trying to find out if there's because it's like I don't know, is it this tree that you want me to look at or this one here? It just which is the subject that I'm looking at here. I mean, the sky's fine. Looking at that, I'm just not. I'm just. It's sort of a okay image. I'm saying it's nothing that pops out and says, "Oh, what I mean pops out." Nothing that says, "Okay, I have the subject. I have telling a story." It just you've captured the trees. It's nice, but I'm gonna say this one's out.
Seen at a frozen pond.
I love the idea with the. I like the footprints. That sort of makes it okay for me. How's that? Um, Looking at this, going back, I like the haze. I like like what you're seeing here. So it's sort of like in the morning. It's warming up, and you see this here. I don't, I'm going to say this. I don't think you needed all of the stuff on the right to do that, but I like the image. I like what you've done. I think you've done a good job with the capture of it. I've got details down here, but the haze gives it away like that. I like the moodiness of it. So let's leave this one in.
Cypress.
Okay, nice sky. looking at the buildings, you've got it there. Again, one thing with the this I like all the exposure's great. They're getting the textures and all like this in the building. You have the leading line going back there, things like that. Just watch here on the buildings, like on the this again, you have a building. The one on the right seems to be leaning a little bit off out to the right, and that you can probably straighten that up again. That's one of those things there. So, but I like what you have. It's one of those images that you've captured. The a place that you've been to, and I think it tells it's a story that I think you want to tell. So this will be in.
Abstract weed landscape in black and white.
I like this one. It's unusual. You captured something that you went along and it just happened to be there. I like whatever the lighting is on it and things like this. I don't the weeds are there. That's fine. It's just that you've got it separated nicely from the background. You've got a little bit of like the bricks on there, holding it in there. I think it's going to be I like this. Keep this one in.
Storm coming.
This one here, looking at it, I think it's a little bit that I mentioned earlier about being flat. I see this here. I think there could be a little bit more contrast into the trees and into here, and I think even in the sky. I think you could actually, because the storm coming, you could probably get it maybe get a little bit darker on the skies or something like that. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing here, and I'm not sure is this if it's I don't know if the actual what the striations are here, the layers, if it actually was leaning like that, you may want to look at that and just see if they were, you might want to straighten those. Sometimes that's it looks like it's leaning to the left is in this case. So looking at that, so this one will be out.
Antelope Canyon.
Okay. Again, here the thing here I see there's only one thing here. It's not blown out, but it's the white here on the left-hand side. I'm seeing that, but I really like you've captured and it seems to be that it's just the reflections off the canyon itself. I like what I'm seeing. I like what you've done with it. You've got the darks. Your sky looks good. I'm going to leave this one in.
Land and sea.
Hmm. This one here, again, this is one of those ones where I think you could probably up the contrast on the mountains in the back and on the sea here. I mean, I like the exposure on the stuff here on the ice and all looks pretty good. I just think maybe up back here you might want to just maybe darken that a little bit on that and or do put a little more contrast on that. But yeah, you do have some darks here, but it's just that it's like I think this mountain looks like I'm just saying based on what I'm seeing here, it's about the same distance here, and it's like I've got a little bit of a don't have may could probably have on the mountain on the right may have needing a little bit more contrast for what I'm seeing here. So this will be out.
Icy Mountain.
Yeah, this one. Okay, this one here is. Let me see. You've got a decent shot. You got a nice shot here. The only one of the things that I'm having, I don't know if this here up here in the upper corner here, I don't know if that's up here, up just to the right of the peak. It's in the center of the image on the right. I don't know if that's that. I can't tell whether that is sky or mountain. It's sort of like it's. I'm losing sort of. I can't. I. It looks like it's sort of like a hazy type thing. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. It just sort of goes off. There's not a lot of. I'm not seeing a lot of. I'm not seeing a lot of separation in the back, and it's getting a little of fuzzy back there for me. But it's a nice. You've got a good shot, good shot here. That's the only area that I'm seeing that I've got some issues with at this point on this one. But this one will be out.
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 Okay. We have 10 for round 2.
Okay.
Okay. Sunset over a tidal bay.
Give that one an 8.
Winding road.
I'm going to give this one a 7.
Waterfall in black and white.
I'm going to give this one an 8.
Mountain lookout.
If this is where I think it is, I'll give. I like this one. Give this one a 9.
Palm tree frond
9,
detail.
9, 9, 9, 9.
Glacial landscape in black and white.
I'm going to give this one an 8.
Scene at frozen pond.
Oh, this is tough. Oh, I like it for it's I like it because because of what it's saying. I'm going to give this one a 9.
Cypress.
I'll give this one an 8.
Abstract weed landscape in black and
Oh,
white.
I have to do this. I have to give this one a 9 because I like the creativity on it.
Antelope Canyon.
This one an 8.
Okay. So what we're going to have here is first,
Yeah, I
second,
know.
third. Mountain lookout. Let me make it so we can see.
Yeah. Oh, palm tree first.
Which one?
Palm tree. Second
Okay.
one in.
Yeah.
The weeds. The weeds. The last one is going to be that.
Going to be
The second.
second. Okay.
And someone's going to definitely kill me. Okay.
Nobody's going to kill you.
No, I'm joking. I mean, I like all these. I um I'm gonna go with the bench, the park for third. And I'm
Okay.
sorry, whoever did the other one. If that's where I think it is, it's a great place. Oh, good. It did get something.
Okay. Landscape in black and white nature. Honorable mention. David, once again, beautiful shot. Mountain lookout. Third place, scene at frozen pond. Mario, very, very nice. Landscape, second place. Abstract weed landscape. Sandy, excellent. And first place, palm tree. Dan, once again, you did it. Okay.
Oh, I mean,
Get
I
back.
I enjoyed it, guys. Thank you very much for inviting me. I appreciate it. I really do. I mean, I like I had some nice images, and even in the beginning group, it's just things with there are little things that you've done a great job. It's just that there are little things that you'll learn as you go along, and you'll get better at it, and with the editing and all like that. That's why we're all in clubs. I'm still learning stuff. Okay.
Joe, can you take a few questions?
Yeah.
All right. If you want to ask a question, just unmute yourself and then jump on in. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have one. So I thought that we said that animals couldn't be the main subject if they were off to the side. It would be okay. I think that's what I heard in the beginning. So, the bear was
Ah,
photo, but I thought the bear would have been disqualified, would have been
I
DQ'd.
didn't. I didn't. Okay. Yes, you're right. I didn't see that one. That was my fault. Okay. You're right. I missed that the animal. That shouldn't have been. It should have been off to the side. I missed that one. I was focusing on the black and white.
Yeah, but it got a 6, so it could be re-entered anyway.
No, I
Six now.
understand. I was just questioning. That's all.
Yeah, that's all. Sometimes in the heat when you're doing it, that you don't. It's like it didn't register.
Joe, I asked you before in chat what your zip is so I can send you your check.
08690. 08690.
I have
Oh, wait,
one other, and this was probably my misinterpretation of the theme. I thought when I saw landscaping dash nature, it meant nature landscapes as opposed to landscapes of towns and cities.
Yeah, that was the other
I,
one. That was yeah.
Yeah, Joe, I agree with Jerry on that. I thought we saw some shots of there was only one that I can remember.
Well, there were two. There was actually
Building,
there was
but
actually there was
yeah.
actually two. The one was it what was it? There was one with the village that was there with going off there. That was one on the in the last group. I forget the name of it. I'll forget it there. And there was the other one which I mentioned, which was the water wheel was the other one. Those are the two that I remember.
No, there was one with
Our
with the
definition
lean-
was natural
leaning.
outdoor settings,
Okay. I
which
missed
could be land. Yeah, but it's not
And
that big a deal.
if you say that, then the bear was probably, just a 6
I
because it
don't
was
remember.
nature.
Yeah, I don't remember the bear. Was that in
I remember the bear because I saw that as a duplicate, and then I noticed that was black and white, which is allowed. You're allowed to resubmit a color in black and white. But that under nature, I thought that would be, come to think of it, that would be
Well,
allowed.
we just had people or animals should not be main parts of the image,
All
Right.
right.
main subject. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know if that means it could be in the center or not, depending on, I guess, how big
yeah,
it is.
the bear.
It's not that
Yeah,
big.
I agree the bear, but there were two. There was the one, as I said, I remember the one with the water wheel. That was one. The other one, I want to say where it was. It was actually in the Mediterranean, I thought somewhere where it was. So that's what you're looking at there. So for
There
that
was
point.
another
But
one where the skyscrapers were leaning, and you
yeah,
said you could
yeah,
use Photoshop to straighten them. You
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but the point that is the main point is what, because we can't rely on the judges all the time. They're right in the middle of judging, and they
Yes,
always
that's
keep the rules in their
yeah,
mind, right?
right.
But when the judges are doing something that is off, why don't members of the photo club say to the judge, this one should be DQ'd? Why don't you give the judge some guidance?
Well, I think Mark did do that and suggested DQing, but we've got a long-standing thing going back years. You could ask Rich that we can live with, and Joe knows this. It's like he said, you're going through dozens of photos. You don't always pick up on everything. Got a long-standing thing that you don't interfere with the judges, because once you go down that path, it's a slippery slope where you're going to start saying things to the judges that are just not right.
No, I
You
agree
shouldn't
with that.
interfere. We could
Yeah,
live with a photo being DQ'd or missed,
yeah.
or something being misjudged. That's why we allow people to re-enter photos. If you get a 6 or a 7, we'll live with it.
But
By
Well,
the way,
Jerry,
Joe, I
and
apologize.
don't misunderstand me, Mario. I'm not
Yeah,
saying we should in any way
yeah.
second guess how a judge is judging. But if a photo shouldn't be in the competition, that's different. We should mention that to the judge.
that does come up rarely. As Mario said, we don't want to
Yeah.
interfere with the judges, but there have been some instances where we have mentioned to him that something is wrong,
If something is
or he
borderline,
or he is even interpreting what our goal was we will sometimes mention it.
Some,
And there's
Not
a
all.
slippery, there's a
sometimes,
slippery slope here. If you do that,
Yeah.
who's the one to do it? Mario says, no, that shouldn't be in. And then all of a sudden I talk up and say, no, that one qualifies. You know, you don't want to
sometimes,
have that during a competition, especially if it's my picture. So
You know,
sometimes,
I-
sometimes Mark does pick up photos because he's the one that sees them ahead of time. He does pick up sometimes that a photo is in an improper place. And
Right.
he may flag it. And sometimes I think over the 15 years or so that we've been in business, sometimes we've called it to the attention of somebody saying, maybe you want to withdraw this or this is not proper.
sometimes what I'll do is, if it's not the theme, I'll offer to move it into the open category.
Right. We've got that as part of our rules. By the
Yeah.
way, Joe, I want to apologize. I'm the one that did that creek scene with the snow on the trees and everything.
Yeah.
I put the wrong photo in.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, I love
I had
it.
one color and one black and white. Of course, I haven't got good enough eyes to see tell one from the other. So
But I know
I put the wrong
I
one.
I have a couple shots that I like that. As I said, it was a nice shot. I liked what I saw. It's just that it wasn't black. It was brown and it was brown and white. And I can see
The minute you said, I looked at it, I said, "Oh, damn, that's the color version."
Yeah.
Because you're looking at it, it's all snow and
Yeah.
black and white. It's like, but do me a favor. Next time I submit that, would you come back and judge?
Okay.
All right. Joe, what was the issue you had with the water wheel? Did you not think it was scenery,
Well,
landscape?
it shouldn't have been a landscape because really what it was, it's not a nature landscape. That would be what you're looking at with the water wheel. But the main reason I had with the water wheel was more of it was looking at it as a black and white. And for me, it wasn't quite as contrasting, or there wasn't enough, it wasn't like the blacks, there weren't enough blacks and there wasn't enough white. That was the main thing about it. But if you're looking at it based upon the nature scene, it should, that probably may not have been there because it really wasn't. It was even a constructed waterfall, which was for the water wheel too. So that's really what you're looking at. So that would have been one of those things. I didn't even think about it when we're there. But those are the two. I do remember the other one, as I said, that there was another one which had the village in the last group, which you're looking down. I liked it. I like what I was seeing. But again, that was a building. There were some buildings on that one too that were there. But that's it's just a matter of that. I didn't even think about we needed in nature, and it's just like, as I said, you get to a certain point, it's like black and white, and it's okay. It's black and white. And then things like that. That's what occurs.
I'll be honest with you. I thought it was landscape or nature. I didn't know it was nature and landscape.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed that memo.
Yeah, just now natural outdoor settings is our definition on the website and what we have.
And see, like I could get away, with like the things with the was it the Vancouver, the one with the buildings I was talking about. That one there, you had it there. You had the built things there. And at least you had the things there. That I can consider that being okay, fine. That was that was a port, something that's there's nature there, but it wasn't necessarily the nature one. So that probably could have been another one that we could have had a DQ on. But no, I've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for having me. As I said, I appreciate this.
Well, thank you for judging.
Yes.
Okay, I'm
Thank you.
going to stop the recording now.